West Virginia picked up probably the most impactful recruit, one of the two of the cycle, and four-star flipper from Wisconsin. He turned down Miami. He turned down everybody. West Virginia is on one of the biggest roles, actually the biggest role in the history of the program.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, guys? Welcome back in. My name is Mountaineer Paul. I am your host. Welcome back into Locked On West Virginia. We're talking football again. Obviously, it's a big day, National Signing Day, something we look forward to every single year. My phone's blowing up immediately. I forgot to turn the sound down. Thanks, guys, for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen and for being a part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where we talk about your team every single day. I appreciate you guys so much for being supportive here the last few episodes. They've been doing really well. Just always like to give you guys some thanks for that. This one's going to be brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. Right now with FanDuel, if you didn't know, if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season with FanDuel.com, do us a favor and head over there where you can place your live NFL bets all season long. We would really appreciate that. You guys do an awesome job, like we say. All right, so West Virginia gets a couple of massive commitments here at the end of the day, and I mean, from what Rich Rodriguez said, more to come. More to come. I think it's an amazing time to be a West Virginia fan, right? And so here's what we're going to do. We're going to have an honest conversation in segment 2 about a player that West Virginia did not get in Lance Dawson. We're going to talk about my favorite player in the class, and there's actually a couple. The one we just got in Amari Latimer. As you guys know, I was begging for West Virginia to get this guy the other day. I didn't think it was going to happen. He's just too good. Usually we don't get players this good, at least not without developing them first. Well, that's not the case here. So that's kind of what we're up to. That's what we're serving up. So let's jump straight into that. As we just said, Amari Latimer, a dynamic 4-star player from Sandy Creek High School in Tyrone, Georgia, who flipped his commitment from Wisconsin to West Virginia today. 6 feet, 210 pounds. He looks bigger, honestly. He is a composite 4-star player across the board. Nobody has him ranked at 3-star that I've seen. He is a powerful, stocky, and the thing is he's a fast dude. He can really roll. So he's going to be a 3-down running back. I told you guys this the other day. He's going to be able to handle a heavy workload if he really needs to on a Rich Rodriguez offense. You don't even have to bring him off the field. Sometime, because how fast we go, you're going to have to eventually. But this is a guy with offers from over 30 blue blood programs, right? So he chose West Virginia over finalists like Ohio State, Miami, Tennessee, Wisconsin. This is who we're dealing with here. And you look at him, he's ranked as a 4-star, top 10 running back in the class, guys. And in my opinion, I think he's underrated. I really, truly do. I said this the other day. Even if we didn't get him, I was going to track his career because I like him that much. He is the perfect fit for what Rich Rod wants to do. This is the prototypical back, I think, for this offense. Even so much, if Steve Slayton made it popular, think Steve Slayton, but with a little more size, and that's what this guy is. He's not quite as fast, but he's got a lot of wheels on him. You'll see. We got a little clip to watch of him here. So he fits the style as an aggressive downhill runner, and I think he's going to start immediately. I think he'll probably win, unless obviously Jaheim and Ty Edwards will factor in too. I do think eventually he will be the starting running back next year. I don't know when, but my prediction is to go ahead and stamp it now. I think this will be your starting running back at some point next year. Maybe not right away, but at some point. He's got elite burst. You look at his 100 meters, he's at a 10.8. Everything you look at with this kid is like, oh, my God, that blows my mind. Oh, my God, that blows my mind. Oh, my God, that blows my mind. So, and he's probably going to be in that 215, 220 range. So you get the best of both worlds. You get a physical runner that will absolutely, you'll see he's got the flipper. He'll absolutely just throw somebody to the ground. or he'll just outrun you. If you want to put him on a linebacker on him in the slot, he'll juke him out, whichever one. Doesn't matter. He's good in the pass game, the run game. So here are the bullet points I have written down. So patience and vision, speed and agility, receiving ability, durability and production. He's a multi-sport transfer, and he has incredibly high football IQ and instincts, in my opinion. So he's a really smart runner who anticipates blocks and then thinks kind of a step or two ahead. And that's where the 3-down value comes in, right? His track speed translates to the football field. The elusiveness adds versatility for passing game, special teams, or in the zone scheme. Sometimes you need to use some of that. He is a proven pass catcher as well, like we said, and he's got the patience and vision to really follow his keys and press holes, which he does extremely well. And, man, does he build some steam up patiently before shifting gears and allowing him to find the holes to explode through. It's my favorite thing about his game. This is an all-timer, guys. I don't know that I've covered many West Virginia players that I like more than this player. And his high school stats are elite. When you look at it, 5,000 yards in competitive Georgia, which has really risen over the last 5 to 8 years to be in the top 5 high schools or so, high school football, 5 to 8, somewhere in there. His senior year was incredible with over 10 yards per carry. If you look at Max Preps, they said he had 25 games with over 100 yards. That's pretty incredible stuff there. Multiple record-setting performances, a 7-touchdown game in Georgia is one of their best single-season marks for the state. 5,102 yards, 60-plus touchdowns, 41 catches, 504 yards, and 7 touchdowns in his career. Mind-boggling numbers. It's just almost like really a video game. His senior year alone, 170 carries, 1,700 yards, 33 touchdowns, 16 catches, 252 yards, 3 touchdowns, multiple 200-yard rushing games, including a school record 287 yards and 7 touchdowns in one game. I mean, come on. What are we doing here? If you look at, and these are all national analysts, this is what they say about him. So they do say a lot of really good things about him. 247 Gabe Brooks, stocky running back that keeps runs on track as he builds steam and rarely gets caught doing much. Heavy behind the pads and true downhill force that can ram his way through contact and extend plays with strength and balance. It's very true. Moves with patience, and he follows keys before shifting gears. On 3 has him as a 91 rated 4-star, noting his top 200 running back or top 200 status, and his production says he's got potential to be a pro running back. ESPN's got him graded at an 80, which is 160th overall. Says he's a blue chipper. Blue chippers, baby. That's what we need. The general consensus, this is a downhill force of nature. West Virginia's lucky to have him. We just don't get players like this very often, ever. I can't think of ever when we've gotten a player like this. I'm trying to rush through a little bit because I know we have a game in 37 minutes. So trying to basketball. So I'm trying to move through this. Let's get to the clips of Amari Latimer. I think it doesn't, talking about him can only do so much justice. And I know some of you guys have seen these clips from the other day, but they're worth checking out again. Here he is in the shotgun, off left center of the quarterback, running an out. And then you can see there, absolutely bulldozes number 2. We rewind. Just a decisive cut, bulldozes number 2. And then that 10H track speed, he just pulls away, right? Great balance at the end to shake number 24. Here he is here. Watch the flipper, the forearm. Watch him absolutely destroy. Boom, right there. Get off me. You could rip my jersey off if you want. And then just goes away. Here he is coming towards you. Just a little hop step and a cut and gone. In Georgia, by the way, we're talking about, this is like similar to saying Ohio or Florida or California, because they have great athletes. You see him motion out into the slot here. Watch him take this running back or this linebacker for a ride. It's a total mismatch. What were they thinking? And he just kind of got his eyes caught in the backfield. So, just showing some of his pass catching prowess. So this is a player that's going to have an immediate impact at West Virginia, like I said. And I do think he will start at some point this year. That's my prediction. I love this player, guys. I really do. So he's going to be a guy that I think it's going to be tough to keep him at some point in time. I know that a bit of a battle was had for his services between West Virginia, Miami, Wisconsin, etc. And in high school recruiting, you're talking about 200,000 for the really big players like Chris Henry. You're talking about 600,000 or 800,000, sometimes more. But for a guy like this, you have to maximize that first deal you get as a freshman, because it's got to be your spending money until you can prove that you're a really good player. I mean, look, it's not like he got filthy rich today. I mean, he probably made really good money, between 100,000 and 200,000, I'm sure. I don't know that for sure. I'm just making an educated guess based on what you read about other players. So he did well for himself today. I think he was right to make the visit to West Virginia. I think he's just so perfect for what we do on offense. So I'm really happy West Virginia got him. This is my favorite player we've gotten so far, with Kevin Brown and a couple others that we'll go over whenever this is all said and done. We're going to wait till we get everybody in before we do that video. We got another guy, though, to talk about, Yander Mack. We have to talk about him next before we talk about the player that flipped to and from West Virginia in Lance Dawson right after the break. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is going to be brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. With FanDuel, guys, the NFL Sundays move fast. One big play, and suddenly everything feels different, right? That's what makes living live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place bets on the auction as the action unfolds, right? Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot, the defense tightens up, and the momentum flips after a turnover. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as guys heat up. And you can kind of bet next touchdown scores. You can get drive results, totals, and more. You can bet on all that stuff. Keeps you locked in every snap, every drive, and every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your live bets all season long with FanDuel. The game moves fast, and so can you. All right, we back here at Locked On West Virginia in segment 2, where we will crack open a do, especially for Amari Latimer, right? Yander Mack is committed to West Virginia as well, and he's a player that I highlighted the other day as a friend of Kevin Brown. A lot of us have read that story now. Interesting story there. Kevin Brown basically played against him and told the coaches, like, you need to look at this guy, right? I think that's kind of how that started. So who knows what other good players look like but other good players. And that's what happened here. So Yander Mack, let's check out a couple little of his highlights, and then we'll get you some breakdown on him. This is a very underrated player in the cycle. They've got him rated as a 3-star. He wasn't being recruited by a lot of the big places. They missed on this. double team with, man, that makes me happy. I love watching stuff like that. So, okay, Yander Mack, what does he do? He is one of those kind of players that you just pray for in recruiting, because a lot of times these really good players, they get overlooked, right? That's just the facts of it. He's got great power, great leverage, strong at the point of attack like we saw there. He uses a great pad level to anchor and shed blocks really well, right? That's what he's good at. He's got incredible motor, which you see on multiple plays, chasing people down, great pursuit, great energy, consistent effort and pursuit, which you like to see, which is something I think the coaches saw on tape from him as he closes in on ball carriers. He's extremely physical and tackles well, as you saw there. I mean, it's the swim, and then it's the stiff arm, and then the hit. I mean, that's three things he did before he hit the ball carrier, right? First, you've got to come off the ball before everybody else. Then you've got to break down into a stance, swim over the guy, realize that the pulling guard is coming or the double team is coming, stiff arms him, and meet the running back in the hole, all in basically one movement. That's what he was able to do just now. It was, and he does it over and over and over and over on tape. I understand why Kevin Brown was pissed, probably had to play against him. He is a Pennsylvania player as well as Kevin Brown. So, he can play multiple techniques. You could probably even get him out on the defensive end. He's that kind of player. I think he could probably pass rush a little bit. If you look at him from production and durability standpoint, he's got very consistent stats over this time in high school. So he's basically a durable multi-year starter up until now. Hopefully he can be a durable multi-year player going forward. The quickness off the snap is probably my favorite thing about him, right? That good initial burst for size, especially, which did I not bring up his size? I may not have brought up his size. If I didn't, I apologize. Let's see. Where is it? I have it written down here somewhere. So I think he's 6'3". So I think he's around 6'3", 230 or 240 something. Apparently, I don't have it written down. Hold on, I'll get it for you really quick. I must not have typed it up. So he is okay. So 6'3", 295. Okay, so he's a little bit. That's right. That's one of the things that impressed me the most about him. He's 295, and he still moves like that. So yeah, obviously that's impressive, right? It's the thing. He moves so well. At least it had me thinking he was a little bit slighter than he really was. When you see him, though, I forgot he's got really big frame, really big legs. So yeah, I mean it makes sense. So what does he do that I like the most? I was just telling you about, which was the quickness off the snap, right? I think that's going to be something West Virginia does well. It's what Dante Stills was able to do, and he made a living off of it and still does. Also, his football IQ. If you look at him, he understands leverage. He understands the techniques that he's using when he's using them. So that means he's going to fit into most modern schemes, 170 tackles, 24 tackles for loss, 9 sacks over the course of his career. He had 10 TFLs and 4 sacks and 47 tackles. This past year, his junior year, was really good. 76 tackles, 4 tackles for loss, and a sack. So it kind of inverted. He went from a lot of tackles to more tackles for loss. I'd rather have the TFLs. If you combine them, though, 123 tackles, 14 tackles for loss, and 5 sacks. So really good stuff there. He's basically, like Brian Doan said, he's an emerging senior riser, disruptive interior player with power, leverage, and consistency. I like that. Okay, if you want to do the hard edge meter for both of these guys, I've got Amari Latimer at a 46 out of 50. That's only like 1 point behind Kevin Brown. Athleticism, versatility, instincts, production, and physicality, and the fit is perfect, basically. I mean, it's such a good one. And I've got Yander Mack, as he's also got a high ceiling. I got him at a 41 out of 50. Got great athleticism. He's got versatility to play a few different spots on the line. You look at his instincts and IQ, those are good. Production and physicality is good. And then the potential fit as well for Zach Alley's defense is good. So a lot to like for both of these guys, absolutely. And hopefully going forward, we can continue to get more of these elite type athletes because that's just what we need, right? Hopefully so. We'll go into break. We'll come back and talk about this Lance Dawson thing right after the break. All right, guys, we're back here at Locked On West Virginia in segment 3. So I'm not one of those kind of people that I'm not going to run from anything, you know? So we'll just go over this kind of as quickly as we can. So last night, a player on Instagram posted in his profile picture a commitment of him coming to West Virginia. Somebody that is in my inner circle called me and woke, I was asleep, but I'm not blaming him at all. It's my fault, I guess. But he called me and woke me up and then sent me a text message and said, "Hey, look at this." And I saw that just a commitment photo. I didn't realize that it was, his profile picture. I don't even know the difference, to be honest. I'm still confused. But I just posted, "Hey, look what this guy just posted over on Instagram." Then a lot of people were like, excited. Then I spoke with Lance and we agreed that I should take it down. And we did, right? So he didn't come to West Virginia today. And I think a lot of people think that's my fault. I just think that, probably I fell for the bait and switch from him. He probably wanted that out there to get the bartering up for himself. I'm not exactly sure. Somebody sent me the text and said that he was committed, and I probably should have been a more patient, but I was half asleep. At the end of the day, I think it's ridiculous to think that one person can impact a commit. Like, I think there are people out there that really believe that. They really believe that. The way I look at it is the Cincinnati coaches have they have all his social media accounts. I'm pretty sure they would have noticed the West Virginia commitment photo switching and replacing his Cincinnati one. First and foremost, but I think they're just these burner accounts. They just need me to be this person they hate. So I will step into that role if that's what they want me to be. I mean, it doesn't change how I feel about myself. And it doesn't change how many people feel. Maybe I just think here's some advice I have to take myself. I have to step out of my echo chamber sometimes. I know it's fun to be in there, but I have to step out of my echo chamber sometimes and just come up for air, because I'm guilty, especially when it comes to West Virginia content, or even if we want to say politics or whatever. Sometimes my own opinion, I just like to reaffirm that over and over again. Sometimes I have to come out of there and use my critical thinking skills. Like, oh, okay, does this really make sense? Yeah, I don't know, man. Guys, I work really hard. I try really hard. I really do. Like, nobody loves West Virginia more than me. Nobody. I mean, I'm not saying that there may be some of you guys that equal my love for West Virginia and all that, for sure. But, I dedicate my life to it. I was at the computer for 15 or 16 hours yesterday, and I'll be here again today, 15, 16 hours. It's something it's my life's, I pulled myself out of hell to be able to do this. And, there are some people that are going to hate you for that, I guess. Right. And I say it all the time. There are people that watch the show that just hate me. So I've never done anything to them. They just disagree with how I go about my business, because they say I steal message from things from the message boards, and I don't. They say that I harass recruits, and I don't. Yes, I do message recruits, but like when I spoke to Mike Casazza about it, especially early on when I was trying to get advice, he said, well, you can't be like us because you're not in the same position, basically, right? I have to be different because I don't have a relationship with the university, right? I don't have I don't even know what they're thinking half the time. If somebody would communicate with me and say, hey, you know, if you happen to see this come across the lines or whatever, I would not, I would listen to them 100 out of 100 times. That never happens. So, I just kind of take it for what it is and, move on because it's all I can do. It is actually insane how good this class is. I 1000% agree. If you can, guys, like the video for me. Just move your thumb over an inch or your mouse clicker over an inch. Like the video, mean a lot. This is a big time commit today. Well, all of them are. I mean, especially the last few, Matt Sig and Amari Latimer and Kevin Brown. Like, we don't get these kind of guys every week or every year. So absolutely, positively excited and stoked. And guess what we'll be doing? After the West Virginia basketball game, we'll be live right here. That's just what we do, right? I scheduled around it. I wonder if there are other people that scheduled to have a show during the basketball game. Do they even know there's a basketball game on? Just curious. Oh, Lord. But yeah, at the end of the day, y'all, I appreciate you. We're going to go ahead and bounce out of here on those notes. West Virginia should win big tonight. If you're looking at who they're playing Coppin State, a team that, of course, Ross Hodge says they have full respect for. They are coming off of a loss against Loyola, Maryland, which is kind of funny. I didn't even realize that. But, yeah, Loyola they got absolutely destroyed by Kentucky and things. So, yeah, but obviously Coppin State, the team tonight. So 2-8 on the year they are. Not a great record for them at all. And they got us. They got Georgetown. They got St. Joe coming up. Gosh, they got a crazy slate of games coming up. So West Virginia should win comfortably tonight. Hopefully we'll get to see the newer guys get back in there and really work out some of the kinks. I wouldn't mind seeing Trey Eaglestaff just hit like 10 threes in a game, though. My cat just popped up out of nowhere. Lord. But yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying today. I'll be back right after the show. That's it. We'll be back right after the show. Right after the game, I should say. Have a great rest of y'all's night, and we'll see you then. Thanks for making us your first listen. Like the video before you leave. Subscribe if you're new. And don't forget to cue those country roads. Locked on Big 12. Check them out too. See you next time.